this is Sule from Pomona, California, Zone 10A. Today is August 21st, 2017, and we have been tagged. And it's by none other than our great friends at the Four Hearts Ranch. Check them out.
Welcome to the Four Hearts Ranch. This is Tom and Melissa, the Four Hearts Ranch. A lot of you guys know me by TW. I go by TW, but a lot of you know me by Tom. This is Melissa and Melissa.
They are an amazing channel. If you haven't checked them out, go ahead and check them out. Go ahead and say hi and subscribe to them. Again, you know, they are an amazing channel. They have goats, they have chickens, they have a bunch of chickens. I'm kind of jelly because they have a ton of chickens. They're an amazing couple, and I just love their videos. When I get that notification, I head on over, watch their videos, give them thumbs up, and comment on their videos because they are an absolute one of my favorite channels. Go ahead and check them out. In their tag, there is a total of 7 questions, so let's get to it. Question number 1. What are the most important frugal things you do every day to save money? Well, I do make my husband's lunch. I wouldn't say every day just because I sometimes don't have time to do it, to be quite frank, but I do try to do his lunch almost every day so that way he doesn't have to spend money on outside food. And as far as for myself, I definitely try to limit the amount of times that I buy my lunch or my breakfast outside of the house. Very important, helps you save money. Just for a regular donut, it's about 75 cents. If you make yourself a sandwich at home, whether it be chicken or ham, it would probably take up those 75 cents to make one good delicious sandwich. So yep, definitely try to eat at home, breakfast, and take my lunch. And for my husband, I try to do his lunch almost every day whenever I do get a chance to do so. Question number 2. What is the best strategy to save on utility bills or utility? What we do is we turn off all the lights and we put the curtains down, and everything is basically in darkness, but it maintains our house pretty cool. You know, in Pomona, the heat has been extremely horrible, so even when we do have you know, one of those window ACs or a mobile AC, it still does not bring the temperature down to where we would be freezing. So in order to help the temperature in the house, we do definitely turn off all the lights. What we also do is anything that can be unplugged, we do unplug. My daughter, the smallest one, actually we call her the light patrol, because what she does is if she sees that one of us doesn't turn off the lights, she will go to us and say, hey, we're paying for the lights, please turn them off. And she will not turn them off herself. She wants you to go and turn them off. So yes, my little one is our light patrol. Definitely makes sure that all the lights are off that need to be off, makes sure that anything that needs to be off is off. Example, the cable box. She'll come and say, you turned off the TV but you didn't turn off the cable box, and that also sucks up energy. So yes, definitely I have a little electricity patrol in my house. Question number 3. What is your best tip to save on food and household products? So for me is buy in bulk. We go to Costco and we buy toilet paper that has, I think it's like 45 rolls. We buy the cooking oil that is the big jars of cooking oil. We buy rice. When I buy rice, I buy the big bags, the beans, so it'll last me a long time. I will make an expense that may seem like a lot at the moment, but in the long run, it allows me to save money by not having to pay that tax every time you have to go once or twice a week to buy groceries. It helps save money because you're also not wasting gas, having to run out every week to go ahead and purchase these products. So food in bulk, products in bulk as well. So everything in bulk definitely does help out in the long run. So I highly recommend buying the food in bulk. Of course, food that's not gonna expire soon, like rice, beans, the oil, cereal. If your children like cereal, they pretty much last a long time. Corn, canned corn. If you like to make maybe chicken salad, we like chicken salad here. So definitely buying food and household products in bulk would be my best tip for anybody trying to save money. Question number 4. What is your best tip on saving money on clothes? This is one that unfortunately I don't save money on clothes. If you guys want to give me some tips, go ahead and do so. As far as for myself, I really don't buy a lot of clothes. My husband always tells me that, every penny I have, I want to spend it on my daughters. Again, going back to me, a lot of people say this, but it's true. The things I didn't have, I want to provide to them. I don't want to spoil them rotten, but I do want to give them stuff that I didn't have. And clothes is something that I did not have growing up. So clothes, unfortunately, I don't save when it comes to my daughters. I guess the way I do save on myself is that I don't buy often. What I buy is a shirt that I can match with pants, a skirt, or maybe some leggings. Something that I can use multiple days, not necessarily dirty, but that I can wash in the night and wear it tomorrow or the following day or the day after. Shirts that will go with pants, shorts, just something that I can use in many ways that won't seem like it's the same thing. I buy clothes that are good quality, so I know they'll last me. So that's why I don't spend a lot of money on clothes for me often, because I don't need to. I buy clothes that are good quality that will last me a very long time. And again, I like to purchase things that I can wear maybe 2 times out of the week. With something different, and it won't seem like I'm wearing the same thing, because I can adjust maybe a jacket to it, or maybe I can add a scarf to it, or maybe I can add a little sweater to it that makes my outfit look completely different. So that would be one tip for you if you're trying to save money on clothes. Buy something that's versatile, that you can use it with pants, that you can use it with a skirt, that you can use it in the summer, that you can use it in the winter, that you can mix it with other clothes that you already have in your closet. That would be my best tip for you. But wash them, don't wear them dirty. Question number 5. This is got to be my favorite, absolute favorite question. And the question is, what is your best strategy to stay out of debt or to pay it down, to pay it completely? So for me and my husband, we both have credit cards, but we never ever use it to spend more than $100. Although our credit on each card is $1,000, we don't spend more than $100. The reason for that is that we want to maintain the line of credit in case of an emergency. We have that money available to help us through any rough patch that we have going on in our life, any emergency, anything unexpected, like a leaky roof or a water pipe that may have burst. So we want to have the lines of credit open. That way, in case of an emergency, we can rely on that credit card to use it to help us get out of a hole we may find ourselves in. Now, when we use our credit cards, if we use those $100, our first payment, although maybe $10, we send $50. Same thing when we go and purchase maybe furniture. We always make sure that we buy furniture that we will be able to pay in half the time that they're giving you to pay it off. We recently purchased $3,000 worth of a bedroom set for our daughters. It turned out that it was $3,000. We definitely gave them, you know, that $1,000. That left us with $2,000. They said you have about 18 months to make sure you pay everything in full, and we are probably in our 5th month, and we are already down to only $700. That's because our payment is for $100, but when we make our payment, we pay $200 to $300 to $400. Before we make a purchase, we make sure that we are going to be able to pay it off before that time expires, and before that time they give you to pay off that furniture. Very important. Don't try to live a life that you don't have the means for. That's something I live by. If I don't have the cash in my hand to pay for it, I will not purchase that. The only time I do purchase things, like I was mentioning my daughter's bedroom set, is because that is my weakness. My daughters are my weakness, and that is the only time we actually purchase something where we have to pay it off, when it comes to our daughters. And it's not something fancy. Don't think the $3,000 is for this like humongous fancy bedroom set. No, it's just that we purchased a bed, we purchased some drawers, we purchased a mirror set. So I'll definitely try to purchase with caution. Make sure that if something happens where your job, you might lose your job, you're still able to make that payment. Make sure that if you do get into that payment is affordable. So if you're buying $3,000 and your credit is good, most likely your payment is gonna be about $50 to $60. Make sure that you're always paying on time. Make sure that you're always paying more than just the minimum, because if you pay the minimum, you're basically just paying interest. So this question I absolutely love. Like I said, we do not buy it unless we have the money in our hands, and with credit cards we do discipline ourselves to only buy $100 worth of, whether it be food or whether it be supplies for the house or school. Only $100. Pay it off within those 2 payments, and you still keep that line of credit open, and you're not putting yourself in debt. And if you are going to put yourself in debt, like we did with our daughter's bedroom set, make sure that you have the means to pay it off way before the time they give you to finish paying that big expense, because you don't want the time to come and then you're struggling to make that payment so you don't have to pay more interest. That would be my best tip for you. Question number 6. Please share one thing you do to save money that other people don't know. So for us, with our daughters, ever since they were born, we buy, what are they called? Like penny saving things? I don't know. A piggy bank. There we go. So we buy a piggy bank in January of every year. Every year is the same thing. We buy a piggy bank, one for each one, and we put money in that piggy bank, and we do it throughout the year. Their birthday is in December. Once December comes, we'll take that money out and then we'll use it to fund their birthday. I can tell you that we've had great birthdays because we have saved that money. You know, at one time we were able to save from this little piggy bank about $900 in a whole year. And that may not seem like a lot, but for me that is a lot of money, considering the fact that it was only pennies that we were putting in there, some quarters, some nickels, some dimes. So it was spare change when we would remember to put in there. And imagine, it was just change. It wasn't on purpose every week, $20, $20. No, it was just whenever we remembered, whatever change we had in our pocket, we would put it in the piggy bank. Let me go ahead and show you the one that we have for this year. So yes, both of them, one is for my oldest daughter and one is for my youngest daughter. So last year we had a little 15th celebration for my oldest. We used that money that we had saved up in the previous piggy bank to help pay for some of the costs of her little 15th celebration. This year we're gonna use the one for my youngest daughter to help fund for her little 15th celebration. And although $900 doesn't seem like a lot, it definitely does help. And like I said, because we did save that money, you know, every year starting in January, change whenever we went to the laundry, we had $1, $2 and quarters, put it in there. When we went to the store, had a couple of nickels or dimes, we would put it in there. We had great parties because of that piggy bank. So if you have kids, it's a great way to show them discipline, a great way to show them responsibility, because they are responsible for funding that great party that they want. And they get to pick whatever they want. They saved up that money, not necessarily from their own money, but maybe just any change that they find around the house. We would teach our daughter, any change you find, go ahead and take it and put it in the piggy bank. And we have kept that tradition now for my daughter is going to be 16, my oldest one, and my youngest one will be 15 this December, and we still have kept that tradition. A piggy bank, the 1st of January, that's when we start loading it with coins, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, dollar bill here and there, but mostly is nickels, dimes, and quarters. And it helps out. Like I said, definitely a great way to show the young kids, the babies, responsibility. You want a great birthday party, you want to have big balloons, you want to have a great awesome cake, let's save for it. Let's see how willing you are to put in the effort to be rewarded when your birthday comes. I think it's a great idea. If it helps you, try it out. I mean, I have loved it. We are still doing it 16 years later, and we're still doing the little piggy banks. Question number 7 is really good. How important is it for you to save money? I can tell you that for me, it is absolutely the number one thing you need to worry about. I always tell my husband and my kids, right now that we are pretty young, I mean, I'm 36, my husband's 36, he's gonna be 37 soon. You know, we're pretty young. I tell him that it's best to be poor now and work hard than when we're older. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that I was in a position, I had a great position, I was working at a great company, and when it was time to pick our 401k, if you're working, most likely your company offers that the 401k, you can submit your contribution. That's money that they take out of your paycheck to put to your retirement plan, your 401k. There's also another plan besides the 401k, which you can also contribute money to, which is also for your retirement plan. So what I would do is I would put in my 401k contribution, and then I would add to my 403b, I believe it was called. So that money that you are essentially taking out from your paycheck for your household monthly is leaving you with less money to spend. However, in the long run, when you get older and nobody wants to give you a job, because I've seen that a lot of older people are not being given the opportunity to work just because of their age. So I tell my husband, I'd rather have that money for our old age than have that money and spend it on things that are probably not necessary for our household at the moment. When I left that company, that money helped us, and not even all of that money. That money, part of it, helped us to live the same lifestyle as if I was working for almost a year. So it's there for my old age, for me and my husband's old age, but I had to use it because I wasn't working. So we grabbed that money and it helped us keep the same lifestyle. My daughters did not feel it. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like I wasn't working. We were still going out. We were still buying them stuff. We were still going to Universal Studios, which is the theme park, Magic Mountain. So they didn't feel it. Why? Because I had that money there. I had money in the bank for our emergency money. That money helped me definitely pay for a lot of the bills, and that helped me also. I was able to celebrate my daughter's 15th birthday. We didn't do anything humongous, but even when you do something small, you spend a lot of money. I did it at my house. Just on the caterer and the decorator and the music, it adds up, and it doesn't add up to hundreds, it adds up to thousands. So because of that money in the bank that we had, we were able to celebrate my daughter's 15th birthday. And that's another thing, although I was putting away for the 401k and the 403b, I believe it was called, they were taking about $300 to $400 from my check every paycheck to put those contributions to the 401 and the 403b. Besides that, I was also putting money in the bank, in the savings account, for the same reason. Like I said, I'd rather have the money where I will have it available to me in case of an emergency than have it in my hands and spend it on movies or food or anything else that doesn't really benefit me. It's not a need, it's a want. Like the movies is a want. Going to a theme park is a want. Going out to eat is a want. So I always see that, for us to have money in our house, cash, we definitely need to have money already in the bank, in the 401. Those are priority, because again, I want to make sure that in our old age we are not suffering. In my jobs, the jobs that I've had, I see how people in their older age, they're suffering. They're relying on Social Security, and Social Security, let me tell you, Social Security does not give you what you would be making if you were to be working. And I do not want to limit myself when I'm older. I want to enjoy myself. Doesn't mean that I want to travel the world and have money to get me a maid and have somebody come in and cook for me and spoon feed me. No, what I mean is that I want to enjoy my old age and not worry about money. Is have enough to pay the mortgage, have enough to buy food and put food on the table, have enough to pay the medical bills or the medical insurance, have enough money to put gas in my car. I don't want to rely on Social Security, because I've seen it where I have worked, and unfortunately the elderly are having to practically starve sometimes because they don't have that money. So my best advice to you is that save that money, save it for an emergency. I'm not saying starve every month so you can save money, but if you have $5, put $2 away and spend those $3. Of course, your bills come first, but any money that you can put away, put it away. If you want to do the piggy bank, try that out in January, and then buy it, put it somewhere where you're gonna have access to it whenever you go to the store and you have pennies, some pennies, dimes, nickels, throw it in there. get programmed to do that every single time you go to the store. Anytime you feel change in your pocket, throw it in there. Believe me, it adds up. At the end of the year in December, when you open that up and you go to cash it, it's like, your Christmas gift. You gave it to yourself. You get to use that money in whatever you want. You were otherwise probably going to spend it in stuff that you didn't need or may not have need, and now you get to reward yourself with that money. We use it for our daughters, but you can use it for yourself. You can use it for your kids. So very, 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 very important. I love this tag because it talks about how to save money, and that's something that I have had to learn. I willingly left my previous job to spend time with my family, which is a whole nother a whole nother video. But yeah, I did it to give my daughters the time they deserved, to give my husband the time he deserved. I had spent so many years working for my career, my future, and there was always a push, but family is first. And I elected my family, and I said, this job is no longer fitting in my lifestyle. My lifestyle right now is giving my daughters priority, giving them attention, giving them the time that they deserve and have always deserved. And I wasn't able to give them that because I was so focused in making sure that I had a good job, I had top paying job, and that I had money, big money coming into the house. But all that is material stuff, and all that is worthless if your family is not happy that you're not there. So you can give them all the money in the world, but if they're not happy that you are not present, then that's worthless. And for me, I decided it was worthless. I did not need that, and I left. And now I have to budget. Now I have to make sure that we have enough money. The good thing is that I recently started working, so now I'm working. Now I get to keep budgeting, but now I'm earning less but spending more time with my daughters, which outweighs any type of hourly rate I can get. Spending that time with my daughters means the world to me, and I wouldn't change it. And I wish that I would have left my job way before when they were younger. So although this last tip for you is not about money, I would say that my last tip for you from the heart is that choose your family. I'm not saying starve. If you need to work. If you gotta pay bills. I was fortunate enough that my husband was able to maintain our household if I left my job, and he did. We had to use some of our money, some of our resources, the bank account, and a little bit of my 401k, but it worked out. And they're happy. They're just happy. They have mom around, and I'm blessed to have been able to leave and still maintain our household, and blessed that my daughters understood what choices I made when they were younger to keep us afloat, and to give them the lifestyle that I wanted to give them, and that they are smart enough to know that mom left work because she loves you. She wants to be with you. So I would say choose your family anytime over any type of work, because you're not going to get those years back. My daughters are going to be 15 and 16 in December, and I have given them, in those 16 years, I have given them just 1 year where it's full attention. Going to the meetings, the school meetings, the parent conference, their sports, taking them to the store after school when they need supplies. So that would be my last advice for you. And speaking of the heart, I do want to let you know that I will be doing a Love for Love in the middle of September or in the beginning of September, and I'm hoping it's going to be a great one. I have a lot of ideas of what I want to put in that box, Love for Love box. So stay tuned, and well guys, that's it from Little Bean's Garden. Hope you enjoyed our chat, and as always, take care.